So let me tell you guys another thing. Um, like I said, my name is Gal Gideon Ben Avraham. I'm an expert of Middle East and everything that related to policy of players like Turkey, and also terroristic players like Al Qaida, ISIS, and also Hezbollah and Iran. What I can tell you more, that every place that the West, Germany, and the democratic players in United States over there, the Democratic Party, every place that they call for freedom and democracy, peace in the Middle East, peace in the Balkans. Over there you could see the terror organizations, you could see the mobs, you could see the mafia over there that is taking down the country. It happens in Egypt, it happened in Libya, it happens right now in Syria with those terrorists. They did the same thing in Albania. They took those gangs, those Albanian gangs, those militias, gave them money, gave them support, buy the oil from them like they did in Libya, and then they made them into a country that supports terror, and also that are doing uh, uh, national crimes, what we say in Hebrew, pshaim leumaniim. Leumaniim, it means national, like nationalism, but nationality crimes, like against Serbians, against Jews, against other Christians and minorities in the Middle East. And then we said, no, but we wanted to call for democracy. We wanted to make the situation better. I mean, you couldn't see that you are dealing with terrorists, with people that you cannot trust them. Like, look what happens in Libya. In Libya, you have a government over there that the other guy, Khalifa Haftar, it's like you have government of the West and the East, and the guy that comes from the East, he goes with Russia. He goes with Russia. So even though he fought against the Muslim Brotherhood and Al Qaeda and ISIS, and he won against them, and he wanted to stabilize the country, and he's someone that you can trust, United States say no. They said no, we are not going to go with them. Why? Because he's going with Russia. Russia is the enemy. Russia wanted to fight against this terror of Al Qaeda for 30 years, also in Syria. And United States were supporting them. You get it? So why won't we go with other countries and not with United States and the Democratic Party especially? And let's go with countries that are fighting against terror and also care about preserving our own identity. We're trying to save ourselves from the hands of Islam that is trying to steal our territory, because those countries in Western Europe are trying to give our territories, our own lands, to the enemy, to sell it. For what? We need to have all those countries that suffer from all those things together against them. Also, let me tell you another thing about the Turkish empire that is going to rise again. They have a plan to take all the Turkish tribes, like the Tubishians and the Tataristanians and the Uzbekians and the Tajikians and all those peoples in Russia. They want to take those districts, also the Bashkirians, okay? And they want to free them from Russia and to call for democracy. That's their next step. After Turkey had won in Syria and Russia is trying to escape from Syria right now. But they see that Russia is weak, so they will try to go against Serbia, but also against other Slavic nations, but especially against Russia. They will try to take down the country through Ukraine, to give it to those Chechenian guys that also fighting in Syria, if you know, but also and also, there are also a big part of Hayat Tahrir el-Sham that it's Al Qaeda, but also they will try to tear down the country of Russia into districts of Turkish countries, like Tataristan will be a country, Tubishistan will be a country, but Bashkiristan will be a country, and they will also let them to have democracy, because and democracy, it means that they could get sheikhs and muftis and preachers that they would preach to jihad in the name of democracy, and in the name of democracy they will preach to jihad like they did in the early 90s, and then after a few years you will have ISIS and Al Qaeda in those districts. and they will make alliance with them, like they did an alliance in Libya with the terrorist government of Tripoli, because they want the Russian oil, and the Russian oil is very expensive. So they will call for freedom, then they will support terror, and then they will try to get oil and money from those terrorists. They did the same thing in Iraq and the same thing in Syria. Over there you can see that the American is trying to only to take the oil from the Kurdish government, and they are not even helping them. Okay? So those are the dangers of the West. That on one hand it is saying we are against terror, and on the other hand is supporting terror. And let me give you an example. Turkey had a sell to the West through ISIS that had sold them in years 2014 to 2016. They sell them oil in half price, and Turkey sold also other countries in Europe oil in half price. So the West saw, oh, we are earning from this ISIS country in Iraq, in Syria. They are selling us oil very cheap. And then they said, oh, so it's good. They didn't want them to intervene, and they created this ISIS monster because they bought oil from them by billions through Turkey that supported this terror. You see, Turkey is the main problem that goes with the West together to create this terror, like in the Balkans, but also in Syria nowadays, but also almost 10 years ago. And only after it started the terror attacks on European soil and in American soil, then the West said, oh, we need to take down ISIS. But you created this monster. You bought from Turkey their oil of ISIS. So those are the lies of the West that I want to tell you in our next broadcast that Turkey did and done, but not in the last years, but also in the last centuries. The idea of Arabic nationalism and terror had been created where? In Turkey in the 19th century. So Turkey, that goes with the Muslim Brotherhood, is also the one that they created the modern terror, and also the people that had learned and preached in Turkey and also in Istanbul, like Rashid Rida, Al-Shatabi, Al-Afghani, and all those guys like Al-Kaukbi, and all of those. The head and the first leader, Hassan al-Banna of the Muslim Brotherhood, had influenced from this guy that got their preaching and education and their ideas that they developed in Turkey. So Turkey has Qaida, has the Muslim Brotherhood, has an history of supporting terror, supporting of doing all those bad things. So how come they are part of NATO? And another thing that I want to tell you guys, they can bring tomorrow those jihadist groups from Syria to the Balkans to preach over there, and tomorrow they will become ISIS. Thank you very much.